Did you know that diamonds are formed under great pressure and heat? And when they're found with dirt and film covering them. They're found in the ground with various types of dirt and elements, and a diamond in its natural form is rough and not shiny, and it appears to look like a lump of coal. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with the Bible and the Most High's chosen people? Let's see how we can make this connection. As a diamond in its natural state, as a lump of coal, it really doesn't matter how the Most High's chosen people appear to look right now. We are those diamonds made by the hand of Yhwh. Don't you think for 1 minute that the Most High doesn't see your value and that He doesn't know that you have the potential to shine. The Most High created you, and He knows that you are a diamond in the rough. The Most High's chosen people, the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the Negroes, the Most High sees us as His precious jewels. However, just like a beautiful diamond, we are going through times of pressure and heat. If you're beginning to think that because we're in this captivity and we're covered with the elements of this world, that Yhwh'S going to toss us aside as a miner would toss a worthless rock, you are mistaken. Just like that diamond that's covered with all the elements of the earth, the Most High must clean us up, and although the refining process may be painful, it is well worth it. Let's take a look at the reason why. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 6 through 11 reads, "For whom Yhwh loved, He chastised and scourged every son whom He received. If ye endure chastising, Elohim deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastised not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits, and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but He for our profit, that we might be partakers of His holiness. Now no chastening for the present seemed to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yield the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby." Please note that to whom the Most High loves, He chastises. The Most High says that He has loved Israel with an everlasting love. This means that He has not forgotten His people, and He will not leave us here in this captivity forever, in the hands of those who stole His valuable jewels. Those of you who are not going through the refining process, the ones who Yhwh is not applying pressure and heat to, you are like unto a child without a father, are bastards and not sons. To not be refined or chastened by the Most High now may seem joyous, but later it's going to be grievous. Yhwh describes Israel as valuable and rare gemstones. We are precious to Him, important and beautiful in His sight. Let's take a look at Malachi chapter 3, verse 16 through 17. And it reads, "Then they that feared Yhwh spake often one to another, and Yhwh listened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before Him for them that feared Yhwh, and that thought upon His name. And they that shall be mine, said Yhwh of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spare his own son that serve him." Now let's look at Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 16, where it reads, "And Yhwh their Elohim shall save them in that day as the flock of His people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon His land." And even though we may not look like it now, we are as beautiful and valuable stones to the Most High. Now, what makes the chosen people comparable to valuable stones? Just like valuable stones, Yhwh'S chosen people, the remnant who keeps his laws, statutes, and his commandments, are very rare. Another clue that Israel is the Most High's jewels is found in Exodus chapter 28, verses 17 through 21, where you see the chief ornament of the high priest was the breastplate, with the name of each tribe graven in a precious stone and fixed in the breastplate. And this was to signify how special the Israelites are in the Most High's sight. And it reads, "And thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of the signet. Everyone with their name shall they be according to the 12 tribes." So as you can clearly see, the 12 tribes of Israel are in fact the Most High's jewels, as we see this in the verses we just read in Exodus. When the world finds out exactly who we are, it's going to be all bad. Do you guys remember when Deshaun Jackson highlighted a quote attributed to Hitler and shared it on his social media platform? Do you guys remember how much heat he got for that? He had to actually retract his message and apologize to the Jewish people. Now, remember, all he did was share the message on his social media platform. So what would be the reason that this man got in real big trouble for this? Even though if you have access to Google, you can look this information up. It's not something that he personally wrote. Oh, and for those of you who may not know this, let me inform you of something. Deshaun Jackson cannot be anti-Semitic because he is a Shemite. And they know this. It's the biggest secret ever kept, and they do not want this information to get out. Let's take a look at why Deshaun Jackson was under fire after he highlighted a quote from Hitler. And it reads, "Because the white Jews know that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep America's secret, the Jews will blackmail America. They will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are. The white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel." I'm telling you guys that this is the biggest secret ever kept. You thought it was aliens? No. The biggest secret ever kept is who the true Israelites are. You see, Hitler knew who we were. And I don't care how you slice it, you will not find the Holocaust in the Bible. Now, when you type in the Google search bar, Hitler knew that black people are the Israelites of the Bible, you're going to get things like, this quote comes from an anti-Semitic documentary that promotes a conspiracy theory spread by Black Hebrew Israelite movement, which claims that black people, not Jewish people, are of Hebrew descent. This false attribution wrongly presents Hitler, who led the genocide of 6 million Jewish people, as an authority on Jewish identity and seeks to override history, as experts told us. As experts told us. You see, you're supposed to believe their narrative. Now, one thing that they're not going to do is tell us that our history is in the Bible and that Deuteronomy chapter 28 tells us why we are in the conditions that we are now. Instead, they continue to try to shove the Holocaust down our throats. But the imposters who are over in Israel now, the so-called Holy Land, because we don't know, the Most High said that Jerusalem is going to be coming down from the heavens. So to be quite honest, we have no idea where the New Jerusalem is going to be. However, you have these imposters over there in the land now who claim to be the true Israelites. But something's kind of sketchy about this, because why does Yhwh say in Revelations, and this is the end of the Bible, that there's going to have to be a New Jerusalem? So if that's the Holy Land over there now, then what's this Jerusalem that's coming down from heaven? Let's read about this in Revelations chapter 21, starting at verse 2, where it says, "And I, Yhwh, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Elohim out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." And then it goes on to say, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Elohim is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Elohim himself shall be with them and be their God." And family, I want to ask you, what do you see plastered on the news right now? Israel going to war with the Palestinians. Now, let's read this next verse, which is verse 4. Now, let's see if that war that's going on over there right now makes sense as it pertains to Scripture. Because if that's the Holy Land and the people there are the true Hebrew Israelites, then their living conditions should match verse 4. "And Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." Okay, so something's not adding up, because it sounds like the opposite of verse 4 is what's happening in Israel right now. Let us read that. Okay, so this article was put out on October 11th, 2023. Palestinians in Gaza continue to suffer as the only power plants remain out of service due to a lack of fuel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows to destroy Hamas following its surprise attack. Global and regional leaders continue efforts to end the ongoing escalation of the Israel-Hamas war. Israeli forces continue pounding the Gaza Strip, killing 1,100 Palestinians. The death toll in Israel has climbed to 1,200 people. You heard the biblical prophecy of what's going to happen with New Jerusalem, and when the Israelites return to their homeland, there's going to be peace, no more death, no more sorrow, no pain, no suffering. How is it that the whole world have been deceived into thinking that the people that are over in Israel now is the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, and that the land that those imposters are occupying currently is the New Jerusalem? Well, I'll tell you why the entire world have been deceived. Because in order for the trick to work, everyone must be fooled. Let's look at Revelations chapter 12 and verse 9. This is the real reason that everyone have been duped. It says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." Lastly, I want to take a look at Revelations chapter 2 and verse 9, where it says, "I know thy works and tribulations and poverty." Yhwh is telling the so-called black people, the Negroes, who are the true Hebrew Israelites, that he knows our tribulations that we go through. He knows the poverty that we've been in. Yhwh is not referring to those Jewish imposters over in Israel currently, but he's talking to the children of Israel, the ones who have been the tail, while those Jewish imposters have been the head. And he goes on to tell us that even though we're in poverty, in the lowest fallen state we could possibly be in, he said, "Thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say that they are Jews and are not, but are from the synagogue of Satan." I'm going to end this video by restating that you, the so-called black people, are the Most High's chosen people, and you're very valuable to Him. You are diamonds in the rough. And He's coming back to search out and find all of His valuable jewels. And let me just make mention of another thing before I go. Yhwh has already won the battle between good and evil. So we need to just sit back and be obedient to the Most High while He does His work. Whatever it is that the Most High calls us to do in these last hours, we must be obedient and follow His directions. And while He has sent out many fishers of men, we need to understand that the Most High is the one to wake up His remnant. In fact, the Most High will need to pour His Spirit out on all flesh before the whole world even sees that we are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. This is not something that we can do on our own. Thank you all for listening. May the Most High bless you and your family and keep you all safe in these last hours. And please stay holy. And until my next video, Shalom.